Hi guys, it's April, and this is going to be a very quick July wrap-up because I don't have a lot of books to talk about. Now, in reality, I did read 17 books this month, but I have two other wrap-ups already done. I did my mid-month wrap-up, which I will link, and I also just completed the reading rush as well. I will link that wrap-up in here in case you are interested in learning what I have read first part of this month. The last couple of days plus a few more days, somewhere in between those two wrap-ups, I only read 4 additional books. And because my reading month was so scattered, I don't necessarily have stats on those 4 books. For the whole month of July as a total, I read 32,667 pages. Yeah, I'm now at a total of 110 books read so far this year. I only need to read 20 more books, and I've reached my Goodreads goal, which is kind of insane, I'm not gonna lie. I'm reading on average about 154 pages a day, which, as per usual, is about 2 days per book. But with that being said, I will just get into the books that I haven't talked about yet. The first book I want to talk about is The Last of Her Name by Jessica Khoury. I think that's how you say her last name. This is the book pick for the month of July for Shae and I's book club. Tell it again. We have a whole live show in case you are interested in checking that out. I apologize for how sick I may seem in that. I decided that I really still wanted to do the live show, so I did it. We try to keep it spoiler-esque, less free. I don't know what that sentence just was. We tried to keep it a little less spoil-filled this time around. So that should be a different experience to watch, I suppose. This book, I haven't even started talking about this book. This book is a Anastasia retelling in space. It centers around Stasia, who is our Anastasia of the story, and her 2 friends, Cleo and Paul. Of course, at some point, Stasia is starting to be hunted down because she is the last of her family, and through all of that hunting, she learns some interesting things about her family's background, who she really is, and it takes a look at a lot of political things that are going on, which is fairly fascinating. I liked this book a lot, mainly because the science made sense. And that's always one of the key things that I always latch onto in a science fiction story. For whatever reason, my brain is like, the science has to make sense, otherwise it doesn't make sense. Which, logic works that way, I guess. But if you have a technology that I can physically disprove, or physics disproves for me, I don't believe you anymore. You haven't done your research, you shouldn't be telling this story, but this book does the science so well and the characters so well, and it had this little twist that I really liked a lot. There is a little bit of romance in it, but it is not the focus, which is another thing that I truly liked about the story. I also picked up Welcome to Night Vale by Joseph Fink and Jeffrey Cranor. This, I believe, is based off of a podcast that these guys have put together. It is a story of a small town named Night Vale and a couple of its inhabitants in this other town called King City. And you just gotta figure out how these 2 things intertwine, and it's this grand old adventure of pure nonsense. At the beginning, I'm like, I can see where this is a little bit Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, because you have some of those moments where you're like signed in triplicate, buried, unburied, burned, lost, and then found, and then distributed out, if you know what I'm talking about. It has some of that whimsical nature, but it's also centered around a city where anything and everything is possible. The impossible is possible, which is really cool to see. It follows a couple different characters, so you get to see different age perspectives, sort of, without giving anything away, which is nice as well. I don't know. At the very beginning, I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna like this. And then by the end, I'm like, I kind of like this. So that was my experience with reading that one. And last but not least, I read Volume 3 and Volume 4 of Ancient Mingus Bride. This whole series is about a young girl who has put herself into slavery and ends up as an apprentice for a magician. It dives into her dark past, it follows a little bit of love blooming, it's got all the things that I really truly enjoy. And these last couple of volumes have gone in a place that just leave me smiling and just warm and fuzzy inside. So I'm really liking that. Trying to pace myself. We'll see if that happens. I don't know. I am liking this way too much, if I'm honest. So those are the reads that I read for July. I think at this point, July is either my second or third best month so far. Apparently, readathons do that for me. And of course, with Readorama coming up in a couple weeks, life is gonna get crazy and hectic again. If you haven't checked out my Readorama announcement, do so down below. Be warned, I'm a little loopy because I'm still a little sick in that video, but there is a giveaway that you can enter. There are the challenges that you can decide what you're going to read for. I'm going to be doing my TBR soon. Super excited about that. And I think that is all I have for July. In the start of my August news, I kind of digress there. Tell me down below one fact that I don't know about you that you think I should. Because, and our beautiful faces.